everyone, and welcome to this section of the course. Um, at this point, I expect that you're already familiar with the different types of writing. That's the web, social media, journalistic, and the rest of them. So, I will be sharing with you how to pick or choose the type of writing to specialize in. And keep in mind that you don't have to pick one. You can actually do everything if it's within your capabilities. But usually people like to eventually specialize, at least when they get the feel of um what it's like to write the different kinds of content. So personally, I'm a big advocate of try everything out and then pick the one that works for you best. All right. This quote by Byron Pulsifer is it's very straightforward, and I think it captures everything that you need to know about picking a type of writing. And like everything we do not have passion for, it is very easy to give up when it becomes too much work. Work without passion is work rather not done. So, in other words, if you don't have passion for it, if you're not interested in it, if it doesn't excite you in any way, just don't bother, because you'll be stressed, you'll be frustrated, and that's not a very nice way to live as a writer. And believe me, writing is amazing. It's a very amazing career. Now, for the sake of something more solid, I would expand on these 5 tips on how to pick, to guide your decision. And like I said earlier, you do not have to stick to one type of writing. Now, the first is the strength, your skills, your competences. So, the 7 types of writing, which you're going to learn more about in the next videos, require different skill sets. Yeah, they're all writing, they all need you to join words together to entice your readers to pass on information. Yeah, those are the basic elements of any kind of writing. But at the end of the day, they're still different and they require different kinds of skills. So some require you to be a teacher to um, break things down to the simplest form. Some require you to sell, just make sales. Some require you to be funny, to say something punchy and get out. So your strength, what comes to you most easily, usually determines uh, the kind of writing that you eventually specialize in. If you're the kind of person that you're very good at highlighting important things in a in a person or in a company or in any on any subject, you might be good at journalistic writing, because journalism is about putting out very specific information in short and concise um format. So that's the first. Next is your interest and passion. Like we've said, it's surprising it didn't come first, because whether you're passionate about something or not, if you do not have the skills, you're not very likely to excel in that. So you may have skills, but or should I say, you may have the passion but not the skills. So you can start by identifying what interests you the most. Do you like teaching people? I like teaching people, so I default to blog writing or technical writing. Those are my most comfortable writing format. Now, do you like explaining things to people? Do you like meeting people in a confused state and then leaving them feeling very relieved and accomplished, that yeah, finally I figured this thing out, thank you for explaining that to me. So if that's the kind of um thing that interests you, if you love helping people out, teaching people, then blog writing, technical writing might be your calling. If you like selling, or if you know how to sell, like you're very good at talking people into bringing out the money in their purses and buying something, then copywriting might be better. If you love creating new words, imaginations, coming up with random weird stuff in your head, then creative writing might actually be the best place for you to specialize in. So it depends on your passion. And again, just a reminder, you do not have to stick to one type of writing. I do blog writing, I do technical writing, and I'm also a fiction writer. And they don't clash in any way because they're different and I'm interested in all of them. The next is the market. Are there people that would buy or that would pay for the skills? Yes, for all the seven types of writing, there are people that would pay for those skills, but you would agree with me that it's different. A copywriter and a technical writer, they probably make more than the other kinds of writers because it takes research, it takes a lot of work, and there is an obvious metric for the performance of your content. You know, if you're writing a sales copy, the metric is how many people bought that product that you were trying to sell. If nobody bought it, then you know you probably did a horrible job. And in the world we live in, people have products, services, things that they want to sell, things they have created out of passion, out of the money that they have, and they want to put it out there for other people to buy. So usually copywriting, technical writing pays most. Copywriting because you're selling something, technical writing because people actually value demystifying concepts for them. All these people that write about software development, crypto writing, those are technical writing. And there's a growing market for each of them. But mind you, the most popular market is the market for blog. Every business needs blog. So there is no business, and no, okay, there are businesses that do not have blog, but let's say 90%, over 90% of businesses or companies or whatever, they have a blog and they need constant content. So there is a market for all the kinds of writing. And you might be wondering, how about fiction? Yes, there's also a market for fiction. There are people that would pay to read your stories, to get a glimpse into your head, the way you think, the way you create people, the way you create words and all of that. And um, the market is not huge, but that doesn't mean there is no money. There. It just depends on where you search for them and how you position your story that you want to sell. The fourth is the available training. Writing is fun. Everybody can write, but believe me, writing is difficult. I repeat, writing is difficult. It's not just about joining words together. It's not about putting the right punctuation in the right place. It's not just about using paragraphs and giving it white spacing. Those are very important elements of writing, but that's not all that writing is about. Writing is hard, and for every specific type of writing, the requirements are different. The industry keeps growing, changes keep happening, and at a point, it's very possible for you to get lost, especially if you're doing it yourself, and you might need help. So there's something called standing on the shoulder of giants. I think it's a scientific concept where you follow the footsteps of those that have come before you. So in writing, it's best not to do it alone. If you don't have a mentor, and I strongly advise that you get one, but if you can't get a mentor, get a community, people that are learning the same thing that you learn, people that are traveling the same path that you're traveling. Might not be the exact same thing, but something similar. People that are at your level of expertise. Maybe they are beginners, they are intermediates, they are just starting to get clients, whatever it is, get a community that you can share your problems, people that can help you. If it's Udemy, Coursera, Insights, LinkedIn Learning, wherever, just do not do it alone. It's stressful and you need to make a lot of mistakes and there is every possibility of frustration. So save yourself the stress of getting frustrated and just get help. Don't start alone. Start with people so that you can have um shoulders to lift you up when things get really, really hard. And finally, your financial goals and your availability. Like I said when I was explaining the market part, there is a market for everything, but it differs. Now, you nobody will tell you that there is no money in fiction writing. I mean, when people when somebody makes that kind of statement, the most obvious example to give is J.K. Rowling, very successful fiction author, and you read her story, and if you read her story, you'd realize that it took years of writing, of getting rejections before she actually made it out as a quote and unquote successful author. So, as I've said earlier, there is a market for all the types of writing. It just depends on you. What are your financial goals? Are you the kind of person that you on your sticky note or on your goal setting book or whatever it is, your journal that you have, you wrote that you want to make $10,000 in 2 months? It is it is insane, but it's not impossible. But I can guarantee you that writing fiction is not going to give you $10,000 in 2 months. At least not the first 2 months that you wrote it. Do you get? So if you're looking to make quick money, and again, there's no such thing as quick money, you still have to work for it. But if you're looking to make money as soon as possible, copywriting, getting very good at copywriting might be uh your a very, very smart option, because you can leverage your skills and the confidence in your skills to tell your client that, okay, I can help you sell 10,000 of these products. Each of the products costs, let's say, $500. And you tell the client that if I make, for every sale I make, I want 10% of the sales. Usually they would say yes, because come on, you're basically telling them that if your copy does not work, regardless of how many hours you put into it, they're not going to pay you. So if you're so confident that, yeah, you have what it takes to make people buy this thing, and you tell them you want 10% of every sale they make, you're going to make some really, really cool cash, right? So your financial goals also determine what you specialize in. And of course, your availability. Copywriting, technical writing, they take a lot of research, and you shouldn't be somebody that everybody wants to talk to every time. If you're the kind of person that you cannot focus on a task for up to an hour without an interruption, like a phone call or a knock on your door, your productivity is going to be very low, the quality of your work is going to be very low, and you're probably not going to get enough trust from your clients, and you're not going to make enough money. So you need to have that time, enough time to dedicate to your work, so that your outputs can be of high quality, and you make your clients happy. If your clients are happy, your purse is happy. And yeah, that's all you need. Passion is important. Money is also important. But at the end of the day, it all falls back to you. You can do multiple types of writing and still be comfortable with it. So it's just like how people ask you what's your niche. You can Some people niche down when it comes to types of online writing. Some people niche down when it comes to specific subjects. So it all depends on you. You can be a generalist writer that only writes blog posts. If it's not blog posts, nobody's going to find you there. You can be a niche writer that writes any kind of thing, any kind of content, social media, PR, anything at all, as long as you're talking about finance, for instance. So you can choose to specialize, you can choose to be a generalist writer, whatever it is. Just my advice would be to try things out before you specialize, because the world of writing is it's very wide, and it's not fair to you, to your writing career, to just narrow down on one thing at the start without seeing how every other aspect look like. Now, do not get me wrong. If you're already sure at this point what you want to focus on, that's great, that's amazing. You don't have to go around trying out new stuff. But if you feel like you could actually be good at some other kinds of writing, I'd advise that you try them out, see how it goes, and then you can decide if you're going to specialize in one, or you're going to do the multiple types of writing. So that's the end of this part. Thanks for watching. In the next section, you're going to start learning more detailed on how to write web content, social media content, PR, and the list goes on. See you there.